Graphic design is visual communication. It's a really creative and fun profession. And just like all the other creative professions, you can benefit a lot if you have a tablet while you are working. I know many graphic designers working with a mouse, and I know, of course, other designers who work with tablets. And the main difference between the two groups is that the ones working with the tablet are usually much more free, and they like to experiment, because for them, creating effects, masking, and working with layers or using brushes are really fun and easy to do, while the others using a mouse find this much more painstaking and time-consuming. So let me show you a couple of quick examples of graphic design and the advantage of using a Wacom tablet for graphic design. I have this advert created here of the original image, which was in colors, and I turned it to black and white. I added the phone, and I created a creative masking effect here on the phone to make it look like the two images are together. And then I would like to add a shadow just below the phone. So I am going to create a new layer and put that layer below the phone and use my brush tool to draw a cast shadow. So I'm going to just simply draw over it a couple of times. And because I'm using 10% opacity on my brush and a soft edge, I can build up the shadow effect and make it the darkest here right below the phone. So now I can see without and with this shadow, and if I want, I can always reduce the opacity a little bit further down, and again check without and with the shadow. So instead of using like layer, size and drop shadow, I did everything very quickly and easily with my brush tool using a tablet. Let me show you another example. Here on this image, I would like to turn the soldier, keep him in colors and turn everything else into black and white. I am going to use the quick selection tool, which is basically a brush, to create a quick selection on the soldier. So I am going to draw over the soldier. You can see using, again, Wacom gives me a very fast way of making selections. I can hold down Alt to get rid of some parts of this selection, which I don't need, something like that. And I'm not really bothered about these details because they are already looking gray. So it's like black and white. Maybe these parts here I can also remove. Now that I remove this, I can create a black and white adjustment layer and save this selection as a mask and then invert it. I just edit the mask with this icon here at the bottom, and I'm going to press Command or Control I to invert the mask. And then once again, to refine my masking, I can use a brush, and drawing with black and white, I can change these details here. So I can draw over it, and in this case I switch to 100% view, and I can very quickly and easily add to my mask or remove from it. So for example, here probably on the cape, I can again add to it, then remove from it as well. I can remove these parts. I'm not sure if it's part of the cape or not, just to make it a bit more clear. And that was a very fast selection, which you will have to work most of the time when you are doing graphic design. And as I said, it's visual communication, where usually you combine images together with text. So let me just continue this. I'm adding more effects onto this image, and I would like to add the text here. I would like to make this banner look like it's behind the soldier, once again creating an interaction between the image and the text. So I'm going to Alt click and drag the mask and put it onto the banner, and that helped me to make it look like the soldier is in front of that banner. So very fast and easy way to do it. And just one more thing about graphic design is that you will probably work with lots of layers, and when you work with a tablet, again, it's very easy to select and work with many layers. A fast way to do it is using the Move tool and hold down Command or Control on PC to select a layer. So as you can see, I have many layers here, all these icons separately, but I can very easily move them around, and I even rotate them with the free transform tool. If I use this keyboard shortcut, Command click and then use free transform to rotate, for example. So this is again something that you can of course do with a mouse, but with the tablet you have an absolute positioning instead of a relative positioning. So when you have a mouse, you have to always move it right and left, the mouse on the table, while with the tablet you can just simply lift your pen and put it down on the top left corner of the tablet to have your cursor on the top left side of the screen. If I lift my pen and put it down on the bottom right, it will appear here on the bottom right. So you will see my mouse is not traveling across the screen, but it can easily jump from one location to the other. So for example, from the left side of this canvas to the right side of the canvas. And you can always set the tablet to work according to your screen. Even if you have 2 or 3 screens, you can still use your tablet maybe to switch between those screens quickly and easily, or you can even cover all the screens together in one tablet. So this is a very useful way when you work in graphic design, because in graphic design most of the times you will work with several layers, and it can save a lot of time just to be able to select the layers fast which you would like to work with.